have noticed since learning I'm a she-wolf that I have quite a bit more stamina and even more speed than I used to. I'm grateful for it as I see the gas station come into view at the edge of Cedar. I head inside and buy water before heading the rest of the way into town. I will show these boys I can handle myself without them. It didn't take me long to get from the top of Cedar to the First Avenue Tim Hortons. Before leaving the mansion, I had thought better than to try and take my car. I knew Chris had the keys to it, but I know how to...
I head into the Tim Hortons on First Avenue in Mission, BC, the place I was born and raised. I've traveled outside of the Fraser Valley, and even the province and country, but Mission has always been my home, and the home to my pack. I park my car in the lot, and as I get out, my wolf hears a commotion. Following him, I head up to Second and into the trail and just beyond the public library. 3 rugged men are standing over a scrawny-looking kid.
I don't remember the last time I was summoned. And the woman in front of me seems confused and... Is that fear I smell? Maybe mixed with arousal? Hell, when was the last time I had a good fuck? Hola, I attempt. Who are you? And what are you doing in my house? She asks, her voice shaky.
The name is Atlas Jones, and I'm a detective in Mission, BC. Well, I go where the murder cases are anyway. Mission is where I live, but not where most of the murder cases are. Mission's more of a peaceful place, for the most part. No, usually I'm sent out to Vancouver or Surrey or Richmond, someplace like that. Lately, I've been traveling into Vancouver because there have been some murders, and no one's been able to solve them. Most of the time, the RCMP can handle it themselves.
My name is Todd Brian Tucker. I know what you're thinking. Is that the name I was actually born with? No, it's not. The name I was born with was horrible, and not me at all. Roscoe Bergen was the name I left behind when I faked my death. That name was just a reminder of how little I meant to my family and to the system. I was grateful to get out. I'm 25 now. The things I've done with my life? Nothing. I've got the boringest life anyone's ever seen. Why? Because my parents have always been protective of me. I'll give you a real good example. When I wasn't even thought of yet, they had my older brother. Fresh out of the birth canal, he vanished. 20-something years later, my family gets a call from Chicago to find that my brother is alive and, well, now, fucking a fucking vampire. Being part of a council is stressful, especially when I'm the one slayer others turn to for their problems. Sometimes I wish I could take a month-long vacation and have someone else do the job for me. Unfortunately, between me, Yuri, and Casey, I scored the highest on the exams. What are the exams, you ask? It's what us slayers have to do to gain a spot in the Slayer's Lair, unlike werewolves and vampires, which are based on age.
Prologue. I'm not what I seem. In fact, I'm the opposite of what all the Greek stories and myths have said about me. Well, some of what has been said about me is true. It's a tricky thing. Yes, I had been a cruel bastard at one point. Yes, I have plenty of bedmates and an abundance of children, both mortals and demigods, many of which have either moved on or died, while mortals and demigods don't live as long as I do.